Hello everyone and welcome back to another math video. Today we're going to be looking at how to graph an equation that's in slope-intercept form, such as this problem that you see up on the screen. Just a reminder, this is the full lesson version, so we're going to go through a bunch of examples step by step. If you want the short version where we just go through the main points pretty quickly, I will link that in the description below. Before attempting this lesson, you should already know about slope-intercept form. If you'd like a refresher on that, I will link that in the description. So here we have our problem. Here's our problem, and it says graph. And so again, we've already talked about slope-intercept form. So step one is to identify the slope and y-intercept. We should be able to look at that and say, okay, the slope is 8/7. The y-intercept is +1. That should be pretty easy at this point. Step two, graph the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is 1. So on the y-axis, we're going to go to 1. All right, because it's the y-intercept, so it should be on the y-axis. So step 2 is done. Step 1 is done. Step 3, rise over run. So we have talked about how slope is just the rise over the run. And so your fraction is 8/7. 8 rise over 7 run. So we're going to, and this is really important, from the point that you put the y-intercept. You don't count from the center, you count from where did you put the y-intercept. I'm going to rise 8 and run 7. So from here, I'm going to go up 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 boxes up. And from there, keeping my pencil on the line, I'm going to go 7 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I put my dot here. And now we have 2 points on the graph, and we can connect them with a straight line. I'm going to try and draw that a little bit better. There we go. And here is your graph. Okay, so you get the slope and y-intercept. You put the y-intercept down first, and then you use the slope, rise over run, to sort of count boxes, put your second point, connect them with a line. It's always to the right, and we'll talk about positive and negatives in a second. All right, here's our cool clock for today, which means that it's time for you to practice what you just learned. Go ahead and pause the video and try these 2 problems on your own. And when you're ready, you can unpause the video and we'll check your answers. Okay, now that you've had time to work these problems, let's check your solutions. For the first problem, you should have gotten a slope of 1/3 and a y-intercept of -2. So I put the -2 on the graph first. Then from that -2, I went up 1 and right 3, rise over run. And I ended up, here and connect with a line. For the second problem, you should have gotten a slope of 9/10 and a y-intercept of -3. So I put the -3 on the graph first. Then I went up 9 and right 10. Notice that I did not put the connecting lines here because for graphing, you normally leave those out. So I just put the 2 dots and connected them. Now, for this problem, you notice that the slope is negative. So when the slope is negative, so -4 is our first point. Now, we said before it was rise over run. Rise over run. But when it's a negative slope, instead of rising, you're going to fall. Okay, you're going to go down. So from the y-intercept, I'm going to go down 1, and I'm still going to go to the right. So down 1 and right 3. 1, 2, 3. I put my dot here, connect them, and now here's our line. So negative slope, remember you go down when you do the rise over run. All right, it's time to practice what you just learned. Go ahead and pause the video and try these 2 problems on your own. And when you're ready, you can unpause the video and we'll check your answers. Okay, now that you've had time to work these problems, let's check your solutions. Okay, you should have plotted 10 for your y-intercept, and then you go down 1 and right 5. So here are your coordinates. For those of you who like patterns, you'll notice that the negative slope is always going down from left to right. And for the second problem, you should have plotted -2 on the y-axis first, your y-intercept, and then you should have gone down to right 3, plotted your point, connected them with a line, and here's your solution. All right. Now for this problem, you'll notice that the slope is not a fraction. The slope is not a fraction. But maybe we remember that if you see just a regular number, you can always write it over 1. And so now it's a nice, easy fraction. So now okay, let's put our y-intercept at -1, and it's positive, so we're going to rise over run. We're going to go up 2 over 1, which would be here, 1, 2, 1, and connect. And here's our line. So anytime you see a whole number there or a regular number there, just make it a fraction to do rise over run. All right, it's time for you to practice what you just learned. Go ahead and pause the video and try these 2 problems on your own. And when you're ready, you can unpause the video and we'll check your answers. Okay, now that you've had time to work these problems, let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem, you should have plotted the y-intercept at -3, and then your slope was down 7 and right 1. And there is your line. And for the second problem, hopefully we remember that there's an invisible -1 in front of that x. Okay, if you don't see a number, there's an invisible -1. And then, so we plotted the y-intercept at 7, we went down 1, right 1, and there is our final answer. All right, that is it for today. I hope you all have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.